Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and for a long time I have been absent from reviewing. So now I am back, and today I am going to talk about Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. Now I am a huge fan of this franchise, but that doesn't mean I have been following it since 1996. So anyways, the first three movies I have watched them recently, but I have been a steady fan of this franchise since 2011 when Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol or Mission Impossible Part 4 came into my view. Well, of course, who can forget that Burj Khalifa scene from the movie, which managed to build the sheer tension around the audience. After that, from Part 5, there was a change in direction and Christopher McQuarrie took over the franchise. He has been the director since then. Now, those who have watched the previous film, The Dead Reckoning Part 1, we have promised from the filmmakers that this is a two-part finale and a proper send-off to Ethan Hunt and his IMF agents. So, if we just summarize the story of this particular part, then in this two-part finale, Ethan Hunt and his IMF agents have been fighting a rogue artificial intelligence called the Entity, similar to Ultron in Marvel Comics, or maybe the Grid in DC. Now coming to this film, the first half steadily builds up the premise of what's going to happen in the second half of the film, and it also summarizes all the events that has happened in different films in this franchise, including Part 7. Basically, it's a slow burn thriller with a proper narrative, and that might be boring to some of the audience because they were promised a high octane action thriller film. So for me personally, the first half was okay, not too great, not that worse. Now, the script was flipped 180 degree when I came into the second half of the film, because the first half at times felt dragged, but the second half was what the audience actually came for in the theaters, and I was deeply satisfied. Salute to this man Tom Cruise, who is performing his own stunts at this age. If you remember in Mission Impossible Part 7, he performed the stunt of riding a motorcycle over a cliff and apprehend a moving train. So there was a behind the scenes video that was released on YouTube. Aside from Cruise, this time the supporting characters are given good space and their dynamic was enjoyable to watch in the theaters. Especially Haley Atwell, Simon Pegg, Pom Klementov, etc. Although the villain Gabriel from the previous part got a less screen time here, but he was enjoyable to watch nonetheless. It was definitely not the best in the franchise, but it was worth the hype. Subscribe if you love Tom Cruise and his action sequences.